Hey y'all, it's Shelly from Quilt Store on Main in Pataskala, Ohio. I was sitting here this evening, I'm in my home sewing room, and I was sitting here this evening working on the first of the Riley Blake new series that they have for 2021, the Throw Pillow of the Month. So it's going to be 12 different throw pillows, and each month it's a different one. So it started here in January, but they were a little delayed getting the kits out. They come in this cool little yellow box, and maybe you have been on our website or been on our Facebook page, and I've shown what the box looks like. And anyway, it comes like a nice little gift box that opens up, and it has all the fabric in it that you need to make one pillow, the pillow of the month. So these are the pillows that will be throughout this year. And so the first pillow started in January. Like I said, they were a little delayed on getting them out, so we didn't get ours until February, and I'm still working on the sample. Well, I started on the sample tonight. The March and April ones that are for, I guess it would be May and June, they're waiting for me at the shop. I haven't unpacked them yet, but I just wanted to show you a little bit about this one. So this is the first one. This is the April pillow of the month. It's called Raindrops. And as you see, the little different colored sort of teardrop shaped blocks look like little raindrops. So it's a pillow that you can get done, hopefully faster than I have. You can get this done and have this, on your bed or on your couch, for spring, for April showers, bring May flowers. So that probably gives you a hint about what the May one is going to be. But we have these kits available in our shop. They are $39, and it contains everything that you need to make the entire pillow front and back, including the little binding around the outside. Now, I'm not going to go through in this video how to make the whole pillow. The instructions on how to make the pillow are pretty self-explanatory, and it comes with great color instructions, color pictures, nice drawings, so you have everything that you need. But the only thing that I thought I might go over in this really quick video is paper piecing. These little raindrops are paper pieced. And a lot of times people are just intimidated by that. It's paper piecing. I don't know how to do that. So I just wanted to show you how quick and easy these are. And once you do the first one, all of them are exactly the same. And then you're just sewing them together in rows to make the pillow front. So I just wanted to go through demonstrating how to do paper piece one little raindrop, and then once you see one, you just repeat it with all the different colors. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a few more things. Well, maybe I will. Hold on just a minute. Oh, it's not letting me turn around. All right, well, we'll do this. So first we have, I'm going to point this down and hopefully I don't lose you. There we go. So here are just some of the different colors of the colored rectangles. These are rectangle A in the instructions. So we have all the different colors, and you saw those in the pillow, the different colored raindrops. They give you the pattern in the instructions. This is your template for doing the paper piecing, and you'll need to make 12 copies of this from the pattern itself, which is right here. So you'll make 12 copies because you actually sew on these papers. And then we have our B squares, and those are 2.5 inch squares, and our C rectangles, which are 2¼ inches by 4 inches. And so for each one of these blocks, you'll need one color A, a template, a paper template, 2 of the 2.5 inch squares, and 2 of the 2¼ by 4 inch rectangles. Okay, so now that we've gone through that, I'll show you here what I'm starting with. Get some things out of the way. So I'm doing this blue one. This is my A rectangle. So the cutting instructions are all very detailed. It goes through, you pull out your fabric out of the box and it tells you exactly how many and how big of everything to cut. So I cut everything first, and then you can just pull it off, like I said, and you can make them in a series. So this is my A rectangle, and your A is always going to be one of your colors. And then I've got, actually you need one of these B 2.5 inch squares because you're going to cut this on the diagonal to make 2 triangles. And then here are my 2 2¼ by 4-inch rectangles and then my little paper piece template. Okay, so hopefully you can see this, what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna start by taking my square and cutting it on the diagonal to make 2 triangles. And then once I've done that, I'm going to take my colored rectangle, and it tells you to put your paper wrong side together with your fabric. These fabrics are all solids, so I don't know that there is a wrong side. So if you mess this up, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put the paper on top of the colored rectangle, and then I'm going to put a pin in that just to hold it in place while I sew all the sides of it. Actually, I'm just going to even that in there a little bit more. So if you kind of looked at this kit, when I talked about it on Facebook when we first got them in, and you thought, oh, I don't know, this paper piece, I don't know about that. That's why I said I just wanted you to take a look at this and just see that this was not going to be as intimidating as it seemed. So if you look at your paper, we have these 2 smaller triangles at the bottom and 2 larger triangles at the top. We're going to start with the 2 small ones. The first thing I'm going to do is start with on the line between 1 and 2, and that line right there, I'm going to fold this paper back. And I'm doing a video, and I'm going to trim this off. Sorry, my daughter just walked in. That's what happens when you're doing videos from home. So now I'm going to leave that paper folded back, and I'm going to take my ruler and put it on the 1/4 inch line. My ruler has a line right here. This kind of dashed line is my 1/4 inch line. So I'm going to set it so that that 1/4 inch line is right at the edge of where I folded that paper back. And then I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to fold that paper back open and flip this over and take one of these triangles and line up the raw edge of the triangle with the raw edge of where the blue fabric where I just cut. And now I'm going to sew with my 1/4 inch seam. I'll move this over here so you can see, hopefully. So I'm using my 1/4 inch foot here. And I'm just going to take the guide on my 1/4 inch foot, and it's going to go right along the edge. Now, the thing I forgot to mention is before you start paper piecing, since you're going to be sewing through the paper and you want to be able to tear the paper off later, I always shorten my stitch on my sewing machine to about 1. Keep losing my pants here. Anyway, your sewing machine typically defaults at a 2.5 for your stitch. That's 2.5 millimeters. So I normally shorten that down to a 1 because then that makes the paper easier, like perforates the paper. It makes the paper easier to tear off when I'm done. So now that I have that on, and you see I took the guide on my 1/4 inch foot and just followed along this edge here, making this 1/4 inch seam, and that lines right up on that line between 1 and 2, which is what I want. And then I'll fold that open. And you can press this now if you want to, but you don't have to. I'm going to go over here now to the line between 1 and 3 and repeat that. So I'll fold that back open, take this triangle and line up these raw edges. Machine's doing a thing. Technical difficulties, hold on. every once in a while when you're dealing with these little corners, your sewing machine wants to suck them down into the little hole. So we're going to try that again. That's always the downside of doing these videos, is you never know when your machine's going to decide to do something crazy on you. Plus it's late at night, on the night that we're changing the time back, or actually going forward, I guess. So the machine just doesn't want to do any of this. So that one's just a little janky looking, but that's just because my machine chomped down on that and sucked it into the hole. So I'm going to be trimming this down anyway. This is going to be oversized, and you're going to trim it down to 3.5 wide by 4.5 long. So now I'm going to go down here, and I have these bigger bigger triangles. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go between 1 and 4, and on that line, I'm going to fold my paper back, trim this off, fold that paper back, flip it over, line up one of my rectangles along that raw edge, sew it again, just the same as I did on the other two. All kinds of difficulties tonight. So I'm gonna, fold that back. And so see how I'm starting to get something that kind of resembles a kite almost? So on my last one, fold on that line, the line between 1 and 5, and trim that off. So I'm lining my 1/4 inch line up there, and that means that I'm cutting at a 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut back here and just trim this whole thing off, because I'm going to be trimming it off anyway. So once I do that, I'll fold my paper back, line my rectangle up to that edge, and sew. Flip you around here so you can see. So I'm going to fold that open, and like I said, this will all get pressed. It'll be a lot nicer, and then you'll trim it down using your paper as the template. So you'll trim all of this excess off using this paper as a template, and the instructions will tell you to measure it down to 3.5 by 4.5. So that's literally all you're going to do for each one, and then when you're done, you get a little kite type thing. I already trimmed this one down. It's 3.5 wide, 4.5 long, and you're going to get, I forget how many of it is to make the pillow, but you'll just do that until you're all out of these pretty colored squares. That's how many you need to make the pillow. And, well, it's 12, I guess, because I had to make 12 copies of the template. So anyway, super easy. Once you do one, then the next 11 are just really easy. You're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Once you trim them down to 3.5 by 4.5, then you'll sew them together like I showed you in the layout. There's the pillow layout. You'll just sew them in rows to put together basically a square pillow front, and then you'll follow the instructions from there to assemble the pillow. And most of you have probably made a throw pillow at some point, so then after that everything's the same. But if you're a little nervous about paper piecing, I just want to show you how easy and quick it is, and pretty straightforward. So I just thought it'd be a fun little video to do. I'm posting this to our Facebook page, and it'll be on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can always email us. But we do have some of the kits in stock right now at the shop. You can order them online through our website, or you can contact me by email, quiltstorenextdoor@yahoo.com, or you can private message through our Facebook page, and we can actually take care of payment and the sale through there too. So if that's something that you think that you'd like to try, it's an easy paper piecing project, so it's a really easy one to get started with if you've never paper pieced before. But remember, these are the rest of the pillows that are coming down the road. I love the little flag one and just sort of this traditional star one. We've got these apples, little hearts, the little like tic-tac-toe board. So these are going to be really cute. And I know myself, Abby, that works at the store, we always talk about how throw pillows are the funnest project because it's like instant gratification. They don't take very long to make. And just by changing out your pillow covers on your couch, it kind of, freshens up the room and, for the season or the holiday. So it's just a fun, easy way to kind of freshen things up or give them as a gift. Or if you didn't want to make it into a throw pillow, you could make them into wall hangings. You could quilt it instead and not put the back on it as a pillow and just turn them into little wall hangings for your sewing room, whatever you want to do. So there's always a lot of options, it's whatever you want to think to do when you're thinking outside the box. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Tonight is the night that the clocks move forward. So don't forget to push your clocks forward an hour so that you're not late to church in the morning or wherever it is that you need to be. So have a wonderful evening. Take care.